I just didn't understand what the fuck was going on. At one point, they playing Negro spirituals. At another point, they playing mariachi music. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. Ludacris got a bedazzled. What the fuck was that on his face? I am the greatest, the greatest, the greatest, the greatest.
What up, though, everybody? It's your boy Meech Stokes here. Welcome to another episode of the GOAT Debate Podcast. So glad you guys are joining us on another lovely evening or whenever you listen to this podcast. Certainly appreciate the love and the support. With me, as always, the producer extraordinaire, Mr. Darius Brown. I know he's handling a couple of things right now, but just wanted to throw a quick intro there. Darius is in the building, and tonight we have a special guest. This brother, we found some of his work on Instagram and reached out to him, and he was kind enough to jump on with us tonight. So we have comedian extraordinaire, movie reviewer, the whole nine, Mr. Rallo Boykins. Rallo, what's up, man? Thanks so much for
coming. I'm happy to be here, man. You don't be doing stuff because I'll be busy, man. They don't know how it is on the other side when you're always running around scrambling.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we're certainly glad to have you here on the GOAT Debate. And so for those that haven't listened to the show before, it's your first time checking us out, we're a debate podcast. We generally throw a topic up each week and we kind of talk about the best, but tonight we're gonna put a little twist on things. We're not gonna only talk about the best, but we're gonna talk about the worst too, the good and the bad. And tonight we're going to talk about the best and the worst of Netflix. Obviously, a lot of us, most of us around the country are on these stay-at-home orders. We really can't go anywhere, so we're spending a lot of our time watching movies on Netflix, Hulu, wherever, just getting caught up on TV shows. So we're going to have a little fun tonight and talk about the best and the worst of Netflix. But Rallo, man, we want to learn a little bit about you before we get into things. Tell us a little bit about how you got into comedy, how you got started, your background, all of that good stuff.
Okay, so I went to Howard University for undergrad.
HU.
Yeah, shout out HU. So that's kind of where I got started. A friend of mine dared me to do stand-up at his 4th of July potluck. And I did that shit, man. I took some tequila to the head and I did stand up for the first time in front of a group of like maybe 30, 40 people. And I was just like, okay, there's something here. There's something here. And I kind of just stayed with it, man, until I graduated in 2011. And, I just kept it going and moved to New York, a few years after that. And, we still getting it. We still getting it.
Okay, so you reside in New York currently. Where are you from originally?
Hyattsville, Maryland, like right outside of DC.
Okay.
Right outside of DC. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Sweet. So, you built the following a little bit on IG with the Rallo reviews. How did you come up with that idea and that concept?
Well, as a comedian, it's like, the stand-up is the bread and butter. When people love you, they want to come see you live. So you have to stand up for that. But when you're trying to build the base, when you're trying to, you got your friends, but you're trying to build the extra. You're trying to get out there and get to the world and bring those people in. And what you have to find out how to do is how to make your comedy and your interests outside of comedy kind of come together. So, I was always a movie person. I'm always watching stuff. So I was like, let me do some reviews. I said, let me do some reviews. And I started off, doing them. It was like, okay, I'm getting the hang of it. Then I put some singing in there. I said, let them know I got a little voice on me.
You got the jingles on there. We heard that. Yeah.
Yeah, I put a singing in there. And then, and I feel like what I like, a lot of people are going to agree with, because I break the movies down with the plot, the acting, the cinematography, how it looks, all that. And I incorporate all that into, how I rate the movie. So people took to it, man. And I'm glad, man, because I needed something. I needed some help.
Yeah, for sure. Darius?
Yeah. I've been doing a little bit of research on you, Rallo, and I've seen that you've hit some of the biggest comedy stages in the country.
Oh, I guess
what is that? What's that like? What's that like? I mean, we're used to being behind the mic. The audience is not there. We could talk. We could say whatever we want. But you, on the other hand, you're stepping on the stage and they right there in your grill. What's that like?
It's like anything else that you grow used to it. I remember the first time I did stand up. It's online. It's on YouTube. The first time I did that show at that 4th of July potluck barbecue, man, I was scared to death. And as you do it, it gets a little easier. It gets a little easier. You build a confidence. It's like, okay, I know I'm good at what I do, and then you learn the craft and you learn what works and what doesn't work. And then it's exhilarating, man. But you got to face your fears in anything. Facing your fear is like the first step. Yeah.
For sure. And obviously, being in comedy, I would imagine, going down that road, you've had some inspiration from other comedians, things of that nature. Who have been some of those comedians for you?
I always watch like comedic actors coming up. Like Martin Lawrence, was a huge fan of Martin Lawrence. The Wayans, I was a fan of the Wayans. I didn't watch a lot of stand-up before I started doing stand-up. But after I started, like I grew a huge appreciation for like Patrice O'Neal.
Yeah.
One of my favorites. Dave Chapelle, one of my favorites. And I enjoy Mike Epps. Like when Mike Epps drops something, I got to see what he's talking about. So those are like my three guys that I know will never disappoint me when I want to laugh, when I want to chuckle. Those are guys I'm going to watch. Rest in peace, Patrice. He ain't with us no more.
Right. Yeah.
But, those are my guys.
Definitely. I just found my Chapelle show season 1 DVD in crates. And I was like, man, I might have to pop that in the DVD player and check that out for sure. Chapelle is definitely one of my favorite comedians as well. So yeah. So let's get into it a little bit. So Netflix obviously has a plethora of movies, TV series, documentaries, comedies, you name it. They have the whole nine.
Right.
But there are a couple, Rallo, that have kind of been since we kind of been on quarantine and been at home that have kind of generated a lot of news. And so 100%. One of those is the Tiger King. Now now I know you did a review of the Tiger King. And so for those that maybe haven't seen the Tiger King, I think most of us have. It's pretty wild. At first I hadn't watched it, and then I just heard everybody talking about this Carol Baskin lady. Right. So I'm like, what's going on? So I wanted to check it out. But the Tiger King has been, I would say a few weeks back, it was all over the news, all over the place. Right. So what are your thoughts on the Tiger King? What does it rank as far as Netflix docuseries? Is it something that we should watch? We shouldn't? What are your thoughts on it?
It's definitely bizarre. It's one of those things that, it hit the mainstream first, I think. And then niggas got a hold of it. And then, man, you gotta watch it. It's crazy. As documentaries go, it's whatever, man. It's not a must. It's bizarre. You watched it, you consumed it, you said to yourself, man, that's some crazy shit. But it's nothing to write home about, honestly, for me. Like, right. I don't give a damn about the story. Like,
well, come on, hold on. Come on now. We got a cowboy who's gay.
This is true.
Who makes two men who aren't gay become gay.
For the drugs. They did it for the drugs.
There's some tigers involved, eating people's arms, some old lunch meat.
They was eating the old meat off the truck. It's wild. But like once you've seen it, it was like, if I have never seen that, did I miss something? That's what I have to ask myself. Like, did I have to see that?
So you telling me Joe Exotic, he's doing like 20 years or something. And well, I don't know. Apparently he's working on apparel from jail. Are you telling me you're not picking up some merch?
100% no. 100% I can't.
100% no.
Tiger King merchandise. That's so bizarre. That's so bizarre. Watching it is crazy because that shit was, first of all, it was long as shit. It wasn't even like a regular documentary. It was like a 6 episode. I was like, how they cram all that wild shit into 6 episodes? It was wild.
Yeah. It was wild. So the question that I think everybody was asking from the Tiger King, and we'll ask you, is did Carol Baskin kill her husband?
Oh, I definitely think that white lady killed that man. Oh, that white lady. She killed that shit. It's devious. I see it in her eyes. She set it up. And you know, when you off in the backwoods, you get away with shit like that.
Yeah.
You get away with shit like that. I definitely think she did that shit. 100%. 100%.
Yeah. So it's definitely interesting, and I think it's funny that you say it took me a few times. Like I tried to start it. Then I fall asleep. Then I come back to it a couple days. You gotta really be mentally ready for it. 100%. To get into it. And so those of you that haven't seen Tiger King, if you into some wild, weird,
that shit was wild and
stuff, check it out. It's a wild story. It's a crazy story. It is bizarre for sure.
No, it was crazy.
Now, Rallo. So I saw you do this review. I think it might have been the most recent review or one of the most recent I saw you do on Instagram.
Okay.
And I got excited when I saw the actors that were in this movie initially. You probably know where I'm going. I'm scrolling through Netflix a couple of nights ago, and I see it's a movie with Terry Crews. With Ludacris, and I'm like, Ludacris is, obviously Ludacris was he's a famous rapper, but he's had a decent rap career, and Terry Crews is Terry Crews, 100%. And so we see this movie John Henry, and so I watched it last night, and the movie is 1 hour and 31 minutes, and for me, it's 1 hour and 31 minutes I wish I could have back.
This movie was very bad.
Yeah, man. John Henry. Tell me about it.
It was in danger of getting the absolute lowest rating I give movie reviews. But because it was professionally done and visually, like, it looked like a movie.
Yeah.
Like, they used a good camera. But that's as far as the bug goes. I just didn't understand what the fuck was going on. At one point, they playing Negro spirituals. At another point, they playing mariachi music. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. Ludacris got a bedazzled. What the fuck was that on his face?
I said online last night, I thought it was a piece of the Infinity Gauntlet that Thanos wore.
Listen, it may have been. I didn't even know John Henry and Thanos was in the same universe. I didn't know he was part of the Marvel universe. But apparently he was. This movie was trash. When I see movies like this, it makes me upset. It makes me upset because it's like, why'd you do it? Whose idea was it to do this? Who greenlit it?
You know how many people that had to pass for that to actually make it to Netflix? Plus, Netflix had to watch it and buy it.
Had to watch that shit, man. craziness.
Maybe they just thought because Terry Crews and Ludacris, maybe the star power. I don't know, but the acting was first of all, Terry Crews was terrible. Like his acting was bad.
He's suffering for that dumb shit he was saying a couple years ago. This is pretty this is gonna be the first many shitty roles for him. For that dumb shit he was talking. Damn, Terry.
I was trying to think if there was one person in the movie that like even did like a somewhat decent acting job.
I was happy to see the kid that was in The Wire. He was in it playing a younger Ludacris, so I was excited to see him.
Yeah.
But then the movie got back to being trash after that. Hey, listen, the dialogue was trash. It was just trash all around. I just didn't understand it. It was very bad. I've seen a couple movies in theaters that were that bad. I got the Hookup 2 was probably close to being as bad because that was a whole other bunch of bullshit. I'm sorry, Master P. Listen, I will go see the sequel because I support everything black, but that movie was some trash. That shit was crazy.
I don't even think I seen I Got the Hookup 2. I don't even know if I knew there was a sequel.
It was a limited release. A limited release.
Okay. So, I'm sorry, Darius. I didn't want to step on your toes. You had something?
Nah, I was just amazed. Amazed, confused. I don't know what the word is for it. But when the daddy, who was in a wheelchair for apparently 80 years, all of a sudden, somebody pull a piece on him, and he got the magic going through his bones. Like, what?
He said it was adrenaline. He said it was the adrenaline.
Oh, yeah.
Nigga, listen, the dad, he kept making jokes. Something about somebody's dick. I was like, this isn't funny, man. Who wrote this?
Yeah.
That shit was bad, man. That shit was bad, man.
So I'm looking at some of the comments from people just on social media about John Henry. Somebody said this is by far the worst movie of 2020. Do not watch it. I'm saving you 90 minutes of your life. Just watch John Henry on Netflix, and I want my 90 minutes back. Don't waste your time. Netflix should give me a free month for this. Somebody check on Terry Crews. I saw 8 minutes of John Henry on Netflix. He can't be okay. I haven't seen one. Now, sometimes even the worst movies, you find some weirdo somewhere that, and I'm sorry to call you a weirdo, that like it. I haven't seen one positive review for this movie, but somehow it's in Netflix's top 10. I'm sure that's a setup by Netflix.
Ludacris, that's the brand name of John Henry, so they got a brand name. People gonna check it out, but come on, man.
Yeah,
come on, man. That shit.
Well, here's the thing. That John Henry with Terry Crews got announced the same time that John Henry with The Rock got announced.
Wait, is The Rock coming out with a John Henry?
The Rock. He is supposed to come out. They did a teaser trailer for it and everything.
Oh, wow.
Now,
shit.
I'm wondering if Netflix accidentally bought the wrong John Henry movie.
They probably won't touch it now. They probably won't touch it.
You're probably going to get fired if that's the case.
They're like, oh, yeah, I got your. Now, hold up, Meech. I know this is a troll because your boy James Jones in the chat room said John Henry.
Awesome. Yeah, he trolling. He trolling. I know that guy personally. He's trolling.
Yeah, that's some trolling. That can't be true. He can't feel that way.
Nah,
man, that movie was so bad. That movie was so bad.
So I know we got a few minutes left with you, Rallo. So we talked about some bad movies. You've done some reviews. And you guys can check out. We'll let Rallo promote his social media, but we'll throw it up in the chat room as well. So we talked about some John Henry just being the worst.
Oh, dang.
What are some good movies that you've seen on Netflix that you really like that you gave maybe some of your most positive reviews to?
On Netflix?
Whoa.
I've been seeing a lot of good series. Okay, I think All American.
Yeah. I was telling Darius about this one earlier.
All American is on Netflix. Well, while it's not a movie, it's a series, but it was good. Yeah. The acting is marginal. Yeah. It's not stupendous acting, but you buy into the characters, I think. Especially the main character, black kid, trying to get out the hood. You can't, come on, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. It's a compelling story, and I want to see what happens to him. Because at the end of the day, that's how you judge whether or not the series is good. Do I want to follow up with this character? So All American definitely did it for me. Are we sticking to just Netflix? Are we going across the board?
If you want to cross over real quick, All American was like the first when we first got put on these the quarantine and everything. That was the first show that I binge watched. And I'm with you on that one. I love the story. Season 2 got heavy, man. Season 2 got real heavy.
It got real, man.
Season 2 got heavy. It was less, season 1 was a lot of football. Season 2 was kind of more off the field stuff, but it was solid.
What is the age range for this? That TV-14 ain't no joke. They pushing that TV-14 to the limit.
And I heard that actually that show being on Netflix kind of revived it because CW was trying to figure out what they were going to do with it, but it became one of Netflix's most popular shows that they renewed it for a 3rd season and all of that. So Netflix actually helped All American, but I think it's a good show.
No, it's solid.
So I saw you talking about since you.
Oh.
He disappeared.
All of a sudden, he just vanished.
Yeah, that was like a magic trick. Oh, where you go?
Well, I guess that's what happens here when we live on Facebook, and he's slowly coming back. Let me see what happened to him real quick. Are you okay, Stokes? Oh,
yeah, man. I don't know what happened. Listen, I paid my internet bill. I don't know what's going on, but
Rallo was about to say something nasty about Netflix, but is that the wrong brother?
Right. But no, I saw you talking about on Instagram, and you were talking about crossing over, so I'll let you touch on this. I saw you talking about Kerry Washington, man. I saw you talking about little fires everywhere.
Love me some Kerry Washington, bro.
Love
me some Kerry.
But everybody's been, I haven't watched the show, but everybody's been clowning her on the show, like her facial expressions and things of that nature.
I don't know what scene she made that ugly ass face. People petty, man. Because that's a beautiful woman, man. People petty, man. Listen. I don't subscribe to it. It's hate. It's hate, man. That's a beautiful man. Listen, they got the She Hate Me on Netflix now too. If you want to see Carrie and some lesbian action, you ain't watching. They got the program. If you listen.
So She Hate Me.
I ain't saying She Hate Me.
She Hate Me is the first movie I ever saw Kerry Washington in. It might, I don't know if it's her actual first movie. Listen, but it's the first movie I saw her in, and I fell in love.
Listen, I had the DVD with the deleted scenes, and I want it back. Hey, listen, they was kissing for real in that shit. They was kissing for real in that. I was looking at the lips. Hey, that's a solid movie right there. But yeah, man, they was hating on Kerry, man. But little fires everywhere. Superb acting. Acting.
Yeah, and that's a whole movie
from the baby ghetto. So I'm watching this suburban shit, and it got me involved. I'm pulled in. That's how you know the acting good. I'm like, all right, Reese Witherspoon. Listen, that shit was powerful.
Yeah, they got some acting. Some names. Reese Witherspoon. Kerry Washington. Those are some big names. So people are gonna check it out just on the strength of that alone.
Real deal acting. I definitely, I've been seeing some good, all the good series. Like I knocked out during the quarantine. So I hit up Little Fires Everywhere. Ozark,
that's a beast.
That's a Netflix one, right?
Motherfucker, yes.
That's the best one on Netflix right now.
Off the chain.
I haven't seen it. I'm gonna have to check it out. I haven't seen Ozark.
Check that out. That's the full game. You got the Ozark. Little Fires Everywhere. What else? What else was good? Oh, Snowfall on the Hulu.
Okay, I hear a lot about Snowfall.
That good?
It's crazy.
Yeah,
it's crazy, man. It's some good programming out right now. The movies leaving a little bit to be desired. Like I'm seeing some so-so movies, and they're ranging from shitty to so-so. That's just not good.
Okay,
that's not good enough.
Yeah. So have you seen? So this last one I want to ask you about, because until I saw John Henry, I thought this movie was maybe the worst movie that I had ever seen on Netflix. And it was the movie with T.I. and Mike Epps, The Trap.
Oh, nigga, The Trap. Oh my god. I don't know why they can't get hood comedies right. Whenever they try to do a hood comedy, it's like, well, let's throw in somebody from social media, a social media comedian, and we're gonna take this makeshift script and we just gonna run with it. And that's not how comedies work, man. That's not how you do. Like, if you take a good comedy, let's take a good dark comedy, take Atlanta.
Okay.
Atlanta, which is a dramedy. I liken it to a dramedy, but man, the jokes, they hit you and they not over the top. You don't have to be over the top. Yeah. You know, they have the scene in Atlanta when randomly Michael Vick is just racing niggas in a parking lot. Like, that's fun. Like, what the fuck is Michael Vick? You don't have to be over the top to do comedy. And then you take a series like Dave, who
I haven't seen that because I'm confused by the picture of somebody coming out the shorts. I don't know what's going on. I'm confused.
I'm not a fan. It took a lot for me to watch this series, but it was recommended. I said, let me give it a shot. Oh, that shit is funny.
That's with Lil Dicky, right?
Yeah, it's with that guy. Hey, it's a good series. The comedy is A1.
Okay.
And I don't stamp it. I don't stamp everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
A1.
All right, because I'm nervous.
They copies off of Atlanta. They say that's what they're saying, but you know.
Okay.
I'll leave that to your, I'll leave that to you.
All right, we'll check it out.
For sure. Well, Rallo, I know we had you for a little bit here, man. Before we
do this again, man. This is fun.
Yeah. Before we let you go, tell everybody where they can find you on social media. I know we're in quarantine right now, so you probably the shows might be locked up for you right now.
They've been asking for your boy to do Zoom shows, so I'll be
throw it out there.
Okay. Because
my comedy translates, man, because I'm good at what I do.
Okay.
So live is the full gamut. You get the full gamut live, but I could take it on Zoom. I could take the jokes on Zoom because I'm a professional, man. But no, you can find me primarily on IG. I'll be on the gram at Rallo Boykins, RALLO BOYKINS. That's where you can find me. Hashtag Rallo Reviews. I put some stand up on there, so I get busy live because people don't be knowing. They be like, oh,
they don't know, but
you get a mic in my hand. I get crazy with it. So yeah, man, I appreciate y'all having me, man. I had a good ass time, man.
Hey, man, it's been a pleasure. Real quick, are you doing the SoundCloud podcast? Is that still
Hotep
popping? Yes, sir.
I'm rebranding Hotep. Okay. I don't know who took the meaning, because Hotep, the original meaning is to be at peace, and we just spread us up peace. Like, that's what we all about, and togetherness, and to bring in and unifying our people, the Black collective. That's what, and I'm taking it back to that meaning. I'm putting some levity on it. We keeping everything light and funny. I done interviewed some great guests for Hotep Holla. People doing stuff in the community, man, that's helping out. So check out at Hotep Holla on Instagram. You can find it there. There's a link to the SoundCloud. Hotep Holla, man, definitely.
Because we tend to give that phrase Hotep kind of a bad rap.
Man, you claim Hotep, they think you ignorant. They think you're homophobic. They think a lot of nasty things. And that's not. I don't even know who rebranded Hotep. I don't even know how this happened. We
are taking it back
sometimes. The white man did not do this. You cannot blame the white man for this. We did this shit.
Yeah, for sure. Well, look, man. Next time, listen. If we do a greatest comedian show, man, you gotta come back on for us, and we can chop it up and talk about some comedians, man. But we appreciate you taking the time out, man. We'll continue to check out all your work and what you're doing and your Zoom comedy, and hopefully, once all this is over, you can get back out there and tear it up real soon.
Man. Where y'all at? Where y'all based out of?
So I'm in Detroit. I'm in the yeah.
Damn, y'all niggas is far.
So we actually are in two different. I'm in the Metro Detroit area. Okay. Darius, you are
in Orlando.
I did not see that coming. Damn, my boy in Orlando. He in Orlando. He worked for Pepsi.
Nope.
It's one of the motherfuckers.
He used to work for the mouse.
Oh, for real? Damn,
yeah.
Good y'all, man.
Yeah.
Damn, this is powerful. See, this quarantine is making people link that would have never linked before.
That's true.
This shit is powerful, man.
And we met. We did a podcast for some years, more of a professional wrestling, MMA kind of thing.
Shit. Oh, y'all into that shit? Wrestling fell off, man. I don't watch no more.
And so we connected through that, and we did the podcast and two other guys, and we did the podcast for a couple years before we ever met in person.
That's crazy.
And so it's crazy, like you said, the internet can link people up, and
it's bringing the hell out of people.
And now in the quarantine, it's doing it even more. So yeah, for sure.
Oh no, that's dope, man. I support what y'all doing, man. I'll keep it up.
Yeah, man. Well, we appreciate having you on, man. Thanks so much, man. And we'll check you out soon, man. Thanks a lot.
Hell yeah, man. Likewise, man. Stay up.
All right. Peace. Rallo Boykins, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate him coming on, joining us here on the GOAT Debate podcast. We appreciate you guys listening. Those in the chat room, shout out to James throwing out all of these Netflix movies that I haven't seen. But yeah, man, Darius, what are your thoughts on some of Rallo's analysis?
Yeah, I think he's pretty spot on, and he has been with his Instagram posts. So that little Dicky one, I keep saying it because the artwork is confusing to me. I don't quite understand it. But maybe if I run out of shows, maybe I'll give it a try.
Maybe you'll give it a shot. Okay, all right.
We'll see.
So go ahead.
I was just gonna say, one more time, make sure you go and check out Rallo Boykins. He's shared the stage with Dick Gregory and Michael Blackson and Bruce and Corey Holcomb. So he's on his way, and maybe you'll be able to catch him in a city near you.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm hoping he comes to the Detroit area, man. I'm definitely gonna check him out. Check him out on Instagram if you guys haven't already. Just search Rallo Boykins. He has a lot of his Rallo reviews up. Like he said, he has some of his stand up, and it's funny stuff, man. I enjoyed what I saw. So definitely check out Rallo. Now, Darius, man, we still got a little bit of show left. So we want to get into a little bit of some of our best and worst of Netflix, and so I'm gonna let you break down a couple. I know you have a list. Give me a couple of movies or TV shows on Netflix that you've checked out. That maybe let's start with the bad. You want to
start with the bad?
Yeah. Let's go. It's more fun to start with the bad. Give us some of the worst that you've seen on Netflix.
Okay. Well, let me put you to the test. Let me see what your test is. All right. Before I necessarily give you the worst.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you either the best or the worst.
Okay.
All
right.
And I'm gonna do this by only giving you the plot.
All right. Oh boy.
So you tell me whether this is a good movie on Netflix or a horrible movie based on the plot. All right.
Okay.
Let's see. Here's one. So 3 Zeros try to become heroes when gunmen take hostages at a star-studded party inside a fancy Los Angeles hotel. That a good movie?
I mean,
is that a bad movie?
I mean, that plot sounds like something that I might check out. See, it sounds interesting. I'm gonna take it.
Sounds
not good though. Yeah, I don't know.
Well,
I feel like I'm being tricked.
Well, no, maybe not. Let's go to the reviews real quick before we reveal. Okay, so Google users gave it a 79%.
That's okay. That's good.
That's pretty good. Yeah. IMDb gave it a 5.4.
Oh, okay.
Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 19. And
19. Wait. 19. 19%.
19%.
Okay.
So, take that how you will. Critics hated it. The fans. The movie is starring. Let's see who. Can we even find the stars of this movie real quick? I'm trying to see real quick who stars in case you know any of them.
Okay.
One Adam Devine, Anders Holm, and Blake Anders. The movie is called Game Over Man.
I don't know anything else, people.
Nothing. Let me tell you, you don't know them, and you might never know them. Okay, I watched the movie, and I side with the critics. I mean, it's three dudes, like they said, trying to become all of a sudden they're losers, and they become all of a sudden heroes out of nowhere. There's guns, there's explosions involved.
Okay,
and it's like one of those movies where you how do I put it? Like you're famous on Vine, and people think, oh, he can act. People like him. Let's throw him in a movie. And $20 million later, you got a flop on your hand. That's what this movie entail.
Wow. Okay.
So Game Over Man. If you see it came out a little while ago, but if it pops up on your recommended, I recommend you keep going.
You recommend this Game Over and don't watch it, right?
That's right. Exactly. That's right. Boom. It's like a bootleg Die Hard is what it's like.
And Die Hard is an excellent movie. Die Hard is a great movie. So, oh my gosh, if it's a poor man's Die Hard, it's probably not very good. So, I have one, and I alluded to it a little bit earlier. I was talking to Rallo about this movie a little bit earlier, so some of you guys that have been listening probably heard it. But I'm going to share with you the plot like you just did, and you tell me if you would check this movie out.
All right.
A man returns home to Atlanta to try and turn his family's struggling restaurant with the help of a new chicken recipe. He's trying to turn around his family's struggling restaurant with the help of a new chicken recipe. Listen to the actors that are in this movie. I almost guarantee the names you would say, yeah, man, I think I want to see this.
Bradley Cooper?
Epps, Loretta Devine.
Okay.
Queen Latifah.
Okay.
Tiana Taylor, who's a singer. Lil Duval, comedian Lil Duval. Bruce, you brought him up earlier. DC Young Fly. Big Boy from Outkast. And the star of the movie, Clifford T.I. Harris, known as T.I. The names in that movie, come on, it makes you say, if I see this on my recommended on Netflix, I'm going to give it a shot. No,
absolutely not.
What? Loretta Devine.
That's straight to the. That's straight to the. Oh, Loretta Devine. Queen Latifah's in this?
I just said Queen Latifah. Queen Latifah is an Academy Award nominated actress, a platinum recording hip hop artist. So this movie, for those that haven't guessed, is called The Trap. Came out in 2017. starring T.I. and Mike Epps. They're the stars of the movie. They're brothers. Mike Epps is kind of the screw up. T.I. is the brother prodigal son that comes home, and now he's trying to clean up this business. And listen, if you guys haven't seen the movie and don't want to hear the spoiler, press pause or fast forward at this point. But basically, their chicken business starts thriving when some marijuana accidentally falls into the chicken batter.
Oh my goodness. Really?
And therefore makes the chicken, I guess, taste better. People are feeling euphoric and free and, I don't know, floating on the clouds, and they start flooding the restaurant. Business starts booming. And now Mike Epps' character has to keep it up by getting more and more weed, essentially, to put in the chicken. It is bad. It is a.
You want to know how bad it is?
Yes. Tell me.
I've never seen the movie.
Yeah.
But it don't even have a Wikipedia page. It's that bad. How do you not even have a Wikipedia page?
So its average score on IMDb is a 4.2 out of 10. Which is not great, right? That's that's bad. I mean, me just looking at the first, 5 reviews, it's 1 star out of 10, 2 out of 10, 1. I mean, it's not a well-liked film, and it was not very good at all. Definitely
nobody bothered to make a Wikipedia page. It's so bad. That is horrible.
Is that the barometer for a bad movie? If you don't get a Wikipedia page, you're just complete trash?
I mean, that's like if you are known at all for anything,
yeah,
you get a Wikipedia page.
I mean, we can make Wikipedia page for the show, right?
Could. Yeah. And nobody ever in the history of all those great people's, their fans, none of them bothered to make a Wikipedia page for this movie.
I wonder if that movie is listed on any of their individual Wikipedia pages. I mean, it's so bad, they probably should not include it on there. They should. They really should.
Queen Latifah.
Academy Award nominated actress. She has to feel bad for being in this movie.
I'm pretty sure she pays somebody specifically to delete that off her Wikipedia page daily. Somebody keeps putting it up. She's like, no, and just deletes it off every single day. Horrible.
James in the chat room says he would only be interested in the movie for Tiana Taylor.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if Tiana Taylor's a singer. She's married to Iman Shumpert, NBA basketball player Iman Shumpert. I don't even think he's in the league right now, but she is married to Iman Shumpert, and she's a singer herself. So, and she's been in a couple movies. Like she was in one of the Madea movies. It was the Madea movie with Bow Wow in it. And she was like Bow Wow's annoying girlfriend. I can't remember. I can't remember if it was the family reunion or one of the Madea goes to, I don't know, Bangladesh, whatever latest Madea movie there's been. She was in that. But yeah, the trap. You feel like you're trapped when you're watching the movie. It's not very good at all.
Okay. Well, let me give you maybe a better movie.
Okay.
Let's try this again. We're 0 for 2 so far on that.
0 for 2. All right.
Let's see here. Okay. When a drunken debate between 2 college graduates about whose father would win in a fight is taken seriously by their dads, jobs are lost, relationships are ruined, and best friends come of age as they come to grips with the identity of their fathers.
Nah, not really.
You're not seeing that?
No, doesn't sound like anything I would want to see. No.
Okay, let's go to the ratings, sir.
Okay, let's.
Google users give it 84%.
Wow. Okay.
I should stop there, but I'll keep going. Famed reviewer Robert Ebert gave it 1.5 stars.
Oh, it got an Ebert review. Okay, so this must be a movie. Okay.
It's a movie. It has a Wikipedia page.
Okay. So it's official.
IMDb gave it 5.2. The movie is a Happy Madison production.
Oh, Adam Sandler movie. Okay.
So you would think that maybe it would be, I don't know, amazing, because sometimes his movies are not reviewed by critics. Wait, what?
Listen, when is the last time Adam Sandler made a good movie? Let's be real. When is the last time Adam Sandler made a good movie? Okay.
A good movie?
Don't throw me out the early ones like Happy Gilmore and Billy Madison and look, I'm having a brain fart. Big Daddy, 50 First Dates.
Okay.
Those
some hitters.
Longest Yard is pretty good. You know what movie he made that I actually liked that some people said kind of sucked? I even like Click. I thought Click was decent. But I don't know. This latest run, he had the Grown Ups movie. I expected a little bit more than that, considering the cast that was in that movie. Right. Chris Rock and David Spade and all those comedians. It was just okay for me. The first one was good. Second one, not so much. But when is the last time Adam Sandler, a guy of course, The Water Boy, I can't forget that, known for making, classic movies in the last 5 to 7 years, when is the last time he made a good movie?
Well, he did make a good movie that's dropping, I think, either this week or next. It's on the upcoming movies on Netflix called Uncut Gems. Have you seen that one yet?
I heard that was pretty good. That's Kevin Garnett's in that movie too, right?
He's in the movie. He plays a pivotal part, but
okay.
Yes.
I just heard he was in the movie, so yeah.
Yeah. People are raving about his acting. I thought it was
good.
Playing himself. He played himself. So
okay. Okay. I thought you were talking about Adam Sandler playing himself, but you're talking about Kevin Garnett.
Yeah. So Uncut Gems. Okay, that's a good movie.
Okay.
Murder Mystery.
What? What is that?
Jeez, that was his mystery, like his Clue, his version of Clue, with Jennifer Aniston. It came out 2019, so relatively new. Nothing.
Nothing.
It's worth checking out. Okay, we'll skip the cartoons. Him and Chris Rock in The Week Of.
No. Is that the movie that you're referring to, the Netflix movie?
No, the movie I'm referring to was produced by him, but it wasn't. He was not in it. I don't believe. I didn't make it that far because it's Father of the Year, starring David Spade.
Okay, and so it's bad.
It's hard. Look, again, the critics got it right. It's so. Listen, I thought it was the worst of anything produced by Happy Madison. Until what did I? Oh, The Wrong Missy. It just came out like yesterday. That is Stokes.
Yeah.
That was almost as hard for me to get through as watching John Henry for other reasons. It was so let's forget Father of the Year.
Okay.
Dump it. It's a bad movie. Let me talk to you about this new movie. This other horrible movie.
Another bad movie. Okay. All right.
So David Spade plays the straight guy. He's not, usually he's the jokester. He's supposed to be the funny guy. He's the straight guy on this, and he plays your average employee who can't get over his ex fiance, and he's got to go to a company retreat. And but he's down in his dumps, so he's preparing for this, and he's on his business trip. He's rushing through the airport, boom, runs straight into this a perfect 10. She's played by Molly Sims, right?
Okay.
And he falls in love instantly, but they're going separate ways. They exchange contact numbers and all of that, and then all of a sudden, he's trying to get out of the dumps, and his best friend, which is played by Nick Swartzen, a funny guy, recommends go ahead and bring this girl to the company retreat. It's in like Hawaii. Bring her along because your ex-fiance is going to be there, and you want to kind of stunt a little bit and be like, oh, because she's so beautiful and she's like a former pro athlete, or she's very athletic, all this great stuff. So he's like, okay, that's a great idea. I'll do this. So he gets to texting. He texts the girl, and the girl agrees, and she's all in. He's psyched. He didn't think that he would do it. Sounds great, right?
Mm-hmm.
But here's the problem, Stokes.
All right.
The movie is called Wrong Missy because before he crashes into this woman, he goes on a blind date with another woman, and she's the most annoying person on the planet. And I'm not talking about just for the movie, Stokes. Unbearable annoying.
I thought you were going to tell me the movie was called The Wrong Missy because he went out with Missy Elliott or something like that. I thought
that would have been the right Missy.
Oh, okay. That's the sequel. That's part 2. The right Missy.
That would have been much, much better. He actually texts Missy Elliott. Listen, you would have made this company millions, for Netflix, as everybody would have subscribed. That would have been amazing. No, this lady is annoying. She's supposed to be annoying. That's her character, but it's so annoying. She did such a great job that it was cringeworthy, hard to watch, and the plot is he accidentally texts this girl who's also named Missy, and she comes to the thing and she ruins everything by just being annoying, being weird, twerking on people, and stuff like that. But
sounds great. I might have to check it out when we get done.
Oh, no. dude, I want y'all. Hey, I suffered through it. I want all of y'all to.
I want everybody to watch John Henry. That's what I want everybody to do.
Oh, back to back. You could have a movie marathon. John Henry. Then you can lighten it up with the Wrong Missy. Oh, man. Listen, the girl is played by Lauren Lapkus. She's a comedian, I guess, or maybe just an actress. I think she's been in a bunch of stuff. She's I first saw her on Crashing, which is on HBO, which is about stand-up comedy with Pete Holmes. And that was a good series. Oh, she's from Orange is the New Black, so people will probably know her from that.
Okay. That's a good show.
That's a good show. Like I said, she's just an awkward person.
Yeah.
And it was so much so that it was like jumping through the screen, and the jokes were corny and it wasn't funny, so it made it even worse. So I was like,
yeah. So
but maybe you have something better.
All right. So yeah. So I got one. Before I go into mine, a couple people in the chat room said check out Money Heist. That's a Netflix movie. I ran across that last night, and I was debating between that and John Henry. And I wish I would have picked Money Heist. I don't even know what Money Heist. I'm assuming it's about a money heist, but genius. I'm going to assume, regardless of the plot, that it was probably 10 times better than John Henry. But I got one for you. So let me know what you think. So here you go. You got an ex-cop, an ex-con, team up with an aspiring fighter to uncover a sinister conspiracy tied to the deaths of 2 Boston police officers. Sounds good, right?
It sounds like
an ex-cop
okay.
Team up with an aspiring fighter. Okay. He's an MMA fighter too.
Okay, I would watch.
You like MMA.
Yeah, I would watch.
To uncover a sinister conspiracy tied to the deaths of 2 police officers. Listen to this now.
Okay.
Now, this movie, according to your criteria, is official. It has a Wikipedia page.
All right. It's got a budget behind it.
So IMDb, 6.2 out of 10.
Okay, that's good.
Rotten Tomatoes, 38%. No, that's not good.
Okay, not good.
Metacritic gave it a 49.
Okay.
So check this out, though. The director of the movie has directed some very popular movies. Listen, he directed Friday Night Lights.
Okay.
Hancock. Collateral with Jamie Foxx and Tom Cruise. Smoking
official.
So this movie was directed by Peter Berg. The movie stars Mark Wahlberg.
Okay.
Alan Arkin. Winston Duke, a.k.a. M'Baku from Black Panther. This movie is Spencer Confidential. And so, listen, I watched this movie. I think I watched it after I watched John Henry. So anything you watch after John Henry,
this was a great movie.
Get an Oscar. Give it an Academy Award, right? This movie actually was pretty good. You know, I would probably, for a Netflix movie, it was good. It was action packed. Alan Arkin was, as he is in most movies he plays in, he was hilarious. He was super funny in the movie. I really liked Winston Duke's character. He was the MMA fighter, by the way, if you didn't guess.
Right.
So
there was an actual MMA fighter in there as well.
I think there might have been a couple like extras or whatnot. I'm not 100% sure, but Alan Arkin's character owned a gym, and Winston Duke's character was an aspiring fighter. Alan Arkin took a liking to him. He lived. He let him live with him because he didn't have a place to stay. And Mark Wahlberg's character also lived with Alan Arkin. So the 3 of them lived together. I don't want to give away a whole lot because it's actually worth seeing on a night where, if you're chilling at the house, still on the stay-at-home order, check out Spencer Confidential. Like I said, B-, probably C, but I mean, average for Netflix is probably worth watching. So I liked it. That was one that I watched recently that I liked, Spencer Confidential.
Okay.
All right, so you got another one, or
I got one.
Okay, all right. Because I got one more, but I'll let you go first.
Okay. So this performer develops an outrageous character, who kind of becomes an underground sensation and a star of kung fu. He's establishment in the film industry.
I know where you're going here.
And it could make or break him. And this movie, 97% on Rotten Tomatoes, 7.3 IMDb, 93% Google approval. Has a Wikipedia page.
Official.
It's official. So it's the real deal. And I know where I'm going to. Dolomite Is My Name is the movie. Oh, man. It's the return of Eddie Murphy, right? It's the comeback. I know he's been in probably 50 films since, but the comeback of Wesley Snipes, I'll say. Because that kind of put him back on the map. I don't know where he's been since there. He left again, but for that time period.
Well, he was in prison for tax evasion, right?
No. I mean, after this movie.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. All right.
I don't know what else he's got going on. All I know is he's not the next Blade. But Dolomite Is My Name is a great film. It's pretty funny. It's inspiring, about a guy who could not. Nobody gave him a chance. He couldn't get his records played, and he hustled his way to getting his comedy. He started doing comedy. They wouldn't let him do comedy really. He was just like an opening act, and he bust his way and ended up making his own movies and selling it out. So if you haven't seen it, definitely check out Dolomite Is My Name. Amazing.
And I have not seen it, so I'm definitely gonna have to check that one out. And movie is based on a true story because the guy who played Dolomite is a real person. So always like movies that are based on true stories. Always seem to resonate a little bit better with me. So that's definitely one that I will check out. Dolomite Is My Name. All right, Darius. I got one last one here. Also an official movie because it does have a Wikipedia page, but it may not be an official movie on the basis of anything else. But here's the plot. Let me know what you think.
Okay.
An inept Detroit cop. Why you gotta be from Detroit though? I already don't like that part. An inept Detroit cop must team up with his girlfriend's foul-mouthed young son when their first crack at bonding time uncovers a criminal conspiracy.
I know what this movie is. I know from the
you don't like that plot. So here's a little bit. Here's what the people have to say. IMDb gives it 5.1 out of 10, which that's average. I mean, that's middle of the road. Metacritic 35. Rotten Tomatoes 19. I can't even say it without laughing. 19% on Rotten Tomatoes. I actually watched this movie a few weeks back. Taraji P. Henson, right? Come on, anything with Taraji in it has to be good, right? Ed Helms is in it. Ron Rico Lee, if you guys are fans of Survivor's Remorse, which I was on Stars, I love that show. He's on that show. He's been on some other sitcoms and movies too, but he was the agent of the main character in Survivor's Remorse, which like I said, I hate that they took that show off of Stars because I liked it a lot. But the movie in question is called Coffee and Kareem. And friends, it's bad. It wasn't John Henry bad, though. It wasn't John Henry bad, but it's not a good movie. You saw it too, so what's your take on it? You sound so frustrated, man. It's okay.
I'm mad.
It's all right.
I just watched an interview, a great interview actually with T.I. and Taraji.
Okay.
And Taraji gave insight to why she plays the characters she plays.
Okay.
So, and she says that in any other person's hands, the characters would be just kind of like just hood characters and just trash people that brought a bad taste to African American women. And so she says she tries to take those characters and basically bring them to life and bring the personality and bring the how did she phrase it? But she basically she takes them from trash and puts the human in them, right?
That's noble of her.
That's noble of her. And these are one of those characters she must have been talking about. Because the character was trash. The script is like, what is hilarious about a kid who curses? Like, I mean,
I got a couple chuckles out of it. I'm not gonna lie, but I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
It's so cheap humor. It's so cheap humor. It's low brow.
the irony that T.I. and Taraji did an interview together and they are responsible for 2 of the worst movies on Netflix is pretty apropos, I think.
Yes.
But yeah, it held my attention. Like, it wasn't one of those things like John Henry, and we keep coming back to this movie because it's so bad. A train wreck. It was one of those movies I watched and I was just like, man, I can't wait till this movie is over. But then it was kind of these things. I just wanted to see, like, man, well, how is it going to end? It's so bad. How is this going to end? And so Coffee and Kareem did kind of keep me attentive, throughout. It's it's only an hour and a half, so it's not a super long movie. But it's not good. Not very good.
I didn't finish it, to be honest.
I watched it.
I couldn't.
Yeah. So before we sign off, because we're just about to wrap up here another exciting episode of the Go Debate podcast. The best thing that you've seen on Netflix in the last 60 days, 2 months. Best thing you've seen.
Ooh, good question. I'm just going to give you a couple real quick. I'm going to round off a couple real rapid fire.
It doesn't necessarily have to be movies. It could be documentaries. It could be series, whatever.
Okay. I'm going to go with, came out a little while ago, but El Camino, which is the movie for Breaking Bad that wrapped up the series. I don't know how many series have movies. If there's a bunch, I don't know of them, but this one did a great job. So tying up loose ends. So Breaking Bad is also on Netflix. So if you haven't seen it, binge Breaking Bad. It's worth it.
I've never seen Breaking Bad. Never.
It's good. It's good. It's really good. Very well written. So I recommend that, and cap it off with El Camino. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which is an original. It's just so good. The music's so dope on there. Everything about it is good. Have you seen that one?
Probably the best animated movie I've ever seen. And I'm not so good. I'm being dead serious. I took my kids to the movies to see that one. Okay. And it was, and I took them because it was one of those things. At first when we went, I really didn't want to see it. Mm-hmm. And it was just kind of one of those things where it was like, we need to get the kids out of the house. Let's go watch the movie. And so I took them to see it, and I was blown away. It was excellent. It was excellent. It's my favorite animated movie that I've ever seen. It's number one.
You don't have to be a comic book fan. You don't have to be a Spider-Man fan to enjoy it. It is that good. Like 97s, 95s across the board.
It's a great movie. And I'm pretty sure, I think it won the Oscar too for best animated film as well. So, and it's a great movie. It's excellent. For me, All American was really good. That's something that I've watched recently on Netflix that I really enjoyed. Like I said, that's a CW television series, but they have the first 2 seasons on Netflix. Really, the only known actor probably in it is Taye Diggs. He's he's kind of the star of it. He's a football coach, and Rallo, our guest from earlier on the show, in his Rallo review on Instagram, he said it's a cross between Dawson's Creek and Boys in the Hood. And when I heard that, I kind of chuckled because it does have like some of the soap opera-y kind of Dawson's Creek 90210-ish kind of issues in the show, but then it's kind of wrapped up in like a little bit of hood culture, and because the main character in the show, Spencer James, is from Crenshaw. So I do like the way they actually incorporate a lot of that culture into the television show. They don't kind of shy away from that stuff. And it's good, man. They have, like I said, the first 2 seasons are on Netflix, and I binge watched them. I watched both seasons probably in like a week. It was it was pretty solid. Other than that, I can't think of anything else that I've watched recently that just like blew me away. I know I'm going to check out a couple of more things. Like I said, Spencer Confidential was decent. But yeah, man, it was but All American was something that I watched recently that really, really stood out. So yeah, man. So there it is, man. The best and the worst of Netflix. So we want to thank you guys so much for listening to episode number 4 of the GOAT Debate podcast. Thanks a lot for joining us. Got to shout out Rallo Boykins once again for being our guest today. If you missed that, make sure you go back and if you're watching live, go back and check out the podcast so you can listen to our interview with him. Darius, throw out some of the social media. I know we got a couple things going on before we sign off. Let's let the people know.
Absolutely. First and foremost, we want to make sure you guys show us a little love. We appreciate it. We're looking to bring you some bigger and better guests each and every week. Had a great guest on tonight. We'll bring them back hopefully in the future there. But what we need from you is to go ahead and go to YouTube and hit the subscribe button. We really need that. And we also need on Google Play or Spotify or iTunes, whichever your podcast provider is, please show us some love. Hit us up with the subscribe there. And equally important, hit the play button. You could fast forward. Listen, can I tell y'all guys a secret? I just found out you could fast forward through the whole show. If you already saw us live, you already heard it live here, and you just want to show some love. If you just fast forward through the whole bad boy, that gives us a play. So that's what I need you to do. Give us a play. And then follow us on, GOAT Debate, iTunes, Twitter, Facebook. Hit us up, people.
For sure. GOAT_debate on Twitter and Instagram. Search GOAT Debate on Facebook. Search the GOAT Debate podcast on YouTube. Subscribe. Like Darius said, we certainly appreciate the love and support. Well, that does it for another great episode of the GOAT Debate podcast. We'll see you guys next week. It's Meech. It's Darius. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week. Talk to you later. Peace.